How do I eat more protein? What foods have protein in them? I recently did a 7-day, 5-minute balanced lunch series across all of my social media channels. I shared fast, high fiber, high protein lunch ideas. I feel like I demonstrated really easily how to throw in a lot of protein easily and quickly into a meal. But today I'm going to break it down a little bit further, because 1-minute shorts and TikToks can't really answer all of your questions. Why is protein important? This is quite simply the most important part of it all. If you don't know why you're prioritizing protein, it'll never have quite enough value for you to prioritize it. Knowledge is power, and that power will propel you forward. There are some misconceptions out there that protein will make you bulky or that you have to be lifting heavy to justify eating enough protein. Let's reframe these misconceptions. Protein is an essential macronutrient for literally everyone, just like high fiber carbs, just like healthy fats. Every single cell in the human body contains protein. Every single cell. That means every little function of your body is optimized when you're fueling it properly with exactly what it needs: protein. Protein is the most filling macronutrient, which is extremely vital for anybody that has a weight loss goal or is generally just trying to manage their weight, hunger, cravings while they're building healthy habits. It also has the highest thermic effect of food. Basically, that means that your body is going to take more energy digesting and metabolizing protein than it will any other macronutrient. So you'll burn a little bit more calories eating and digesting protein than you might carbs and fat. Is it make or break? Probably not, but all the positives of protein compounded over time isn't something to take lightly. Here are my top 7 sources of protein that are affordable, practical, and convenient. Number 1 is chicken breast, tenderloin, thigh, leg, anything. Chicken is obviously one of the top foods in the nutrition space that we think of when we think of protein. That's because it mostly consists of protein. I'm going to offer you a slightly different perspective than what you might hear and say that it doesn't have to be just chicken breast to provide you with adequate amounts of protein. Chicken tenderloins, thighs, and legs work just fine too. There are subtle differences in the protein quantity amongst breast, tenderloin, and thigh. For example, 3 ounces of chicken breast has around 140 calories and 26 grams of protein per 3-ounce serving, whereas a 3-ounce serving of chicken thighs has around 180 calories and 22 grams of protein. So a little bit more fat, a little less protein than your chicken breast. One isn't necessarily better than the other, but it can be helpful to note the subtle differences. Chicken thighs are going to offer slightly more flavor due to the higher fat content. I personally prefer to enjoy my meals. I'm a foodie, I like food. So I've learned to prepare chicken breast in a way that it stays really juicy and flavorful, but also I still love chicken thighs and prepare those with a little less frequency, but still pretty regularly. Number 2, lentils. For every animal-based protein source I offer, I'd love to offer you a plant-based protein source as well. To be fair though, I do think animal protein is the easiest, most efficient way to get in your protein. If you're not vegan or vegetarian, there's no reason to avoid it. At the same time, if you are vegan or vegetarian, or you just want a meatless meal, lentils are a great place to start. In 1 cup of cooked lentils, we get about 280 calories and 24 grams of protein. We're also getting around 50 grams of carbs and 8 grams of fiber. Overall, lentils are offering a great, well-rounded macronutrient profile. We could throw this into a veggie coconut curry for some volume and healthy fats, and then we'll have a perfectly well-rounded, high-volume, comforting meal. The catch is those lentils are your protein source and your carb source at that meal. When it comes to plant-based proteins, we see this happen a lot. Lentils, chickpeas, beans, it'll double as your protein and your carb source. When I work with clients, I see a lot of different cultural and traditional food backgrounds, and a lot of those cultural meals will sometimes be lentils, and they'll serve that with a side of rice or bread. Now, that rice and that bread can still fit. You can aim for half a cup of lentils, half a piece of naan, and some Greek yogurt on the side to increase the protein. Maybe veggies for volume and fiber, and you'll have a great, well-rounded meal. Or skip the bread and rice altogether and have a bigger serving of lentils. The choice is 100% yours. But again, knowledge is power, and it helps to know what you're consuming and what that macronutrient breakdown roughly looks like. Number 3, we got ground beef or ground turkey, bison, etc. Ground beef is another high protein staple, but instead of thinking plain ground beef and rice like a bodybuilder, I want you to think delicious homemade burgers, meatballs, veggie-filled chili, things like that. In a 3-ounce serving of 80% lean meat and 20% fat, we get about 200 calories and 20 grams of protein. You could also use like a 90-10 ground beef, something a little bit leaner, for a little bit less calories and a tad more protein. Again, the choice is totally yours. I like the flavor profile of 80-20 when I'm making something like burgers and the flavor is all in the meat. but I'm happy to go with something like 90-10 when I'm making a chili and I'm throwing in lots of spices and lots of flavor with that. Tofu is coming in at number 4, and half a cup of raw, firm tofu. We're looking at 181 calories and almost 22 grams of protein. It also comes paired with 3.5 grams of carbs, but of those 3.5 grams of carbs, 3 grams are fiber. So tofu is a really great plant-based protein source. Tofu is also extremely versatile, and if you haven't mastered cooking it yet, you need to Google the thousands of recipes that are out there. There are so many fun, delicious ways to make it. I've put silken tofu into smoothies, puddings, healthier cheesecakes, and used it in things like curries when I'm cooking. When I say versatile, I literally mean it. Coming in at number 5, we have eggs. If you're a picky eater and don't like eggs just because you don't like eggs, I encourage you to slowly start exposing yourself to them and preparing them in ways you enjoy little by little until you do like them. That exposure therapy goes for most foods if you're a generally picky eater. I'm gonna be annoying and say that being a picky eater is inconvenient for your health goals. Eggs are cheap, versatile, and extremely easy to prepare. They're also so nutrient dense and just too convenient not to try. One egg comes in at around 70 calories and 7 grams of protein. I typically encourage clients to have 2 eggs for 14 grams of protein, and we'll even take it a step further to bump it up with a slice of bread that offers another 4 to 5 grams of protein, egg whites, or a cottage cheese that can bump that all the way up to 25 or 30 grams of protein at a meal. Number 6, we're working with dairy, cottage cheese, Greek yogurt, etc. Now, the world hates dairy, but I love it. If you're worried about it being inflammatory, I encourage you to look for a higher quality source of dairy, like maybe a grass-fed or organic, or to dial in on what your dairy is paired with. Read the ingredients of your yogurt and opt for plain over flavored. Buy your cheese in blocks over the pre-shredded. That way you can avoid any added fillers. You don't have to do either of these by any means. I mean, I definitely don't always buy organic grass-fed yogurt, but again, if you can afford it and you're worried about the quality of your dairy, it's a decent solution. Dairy is not bad for you if you don't have an allergy, but the source and the quality can make a difference. 1 cup of low-fat cottage cheese has about 183 calories and a whopping 24 grams of protein. 1 cup of Greek yogurt can have anywhere from 90 to 140 calories depending on the fat content, and 14 to 20 grams of protein depending again on the fat content. Now, both of these can be used in sweet or savory dishes. And again, before you say that you don't like Greek yogurt or cottage cheese, I had a client literally last week say that she hates Greek yogurt and has never been able to eat it. But I encouraged her to try it with one of her mom's homemade Pakistani okra stew-like dishes, and she loved it. So the stew was just okra, really, with lots of different spices and flavors, and they typically eat it with bread or rice, but it didn't have any protein, right? It was just a veggie and a carb. But by adding that Greek yogurt, we bumped up the protein without really changing the nature of the dish. A lot of Pakistani dishes and Palestinian dishes are naturally already served with yogurt on the side. So by using a Greek yogurt, we kept that protein content nice and high and didn't really change our traditional dish. She's put Greek yogurt now on so many dishes since. The same goes for cottage cheese. I've had clients who hate it, and now they eat it with their eggs or on their crackers with everything bagel seasoning all the time. They literally love it. Number 7, we got canned salmon, canned tuna, and canned chicken. 1 serving of canned salmon has around 140 calories and 20 grams of protein. 1 serving of canned tuna, or just really the whole can, has about 145 calories and 27 grams of protein. So there's no question that the protein is there for all 3 of these. The question is, can you eat it in a way that tastes good? Can you make it in a way that makes you want to have it as a part of your regular rotation? Can it feel like a forever habit kind of food instead of a diet food? Because that's why a lot of people veer away from canned tuna or even cottage cheese. It was one of their old diet foods. But if you can eat it and have it in a way that you love and you crave, then it definitely can work for you. So for instance, I used to think that I definitely could not have it in a way that wasn't diety until I made my bangin' tuna salad, and I literally have craved it weeks and weeks since. Now I keep canned tuna and canned salmon on hand at all times so that I can make this whenever I need a quick lunch. And at the risk of repeating myself, this is another one of those foods that clients have straight up told me they will not eat. But then they tried preparing it the way that I recommended and ended up loving it. I promise you, I'm a foodie too. I would not lie to you about this stuff. I can't. It's serious business, okay? And of course, fresh salmon, fresh tuna, they do the job just as well. Today, I'm trying to keep it a little bit more budget friendly. I hope this helped put some different protein options into perspective for you guys. I tried to include different dietary preferences at different price points. Let me know if I answered your questions though. Never hesitate to share your thoughts in the comments. Remember, this is always an open discussion, not just me talking at you. Don't forget to subscribe so that you never miss a video, and I'll see you in the next one.